There has been one singular question that has been haunting me for the past 5 years or so. And this question is about art. Why do people, why do we create art? What is the point of art? If you think of art from a logistical point of view, or from a scientific left-brained point of view, art doesn't really serve any kind of specific purpose, right? Like, it doesn't make you smarter. It doesn't improve your lifestyle. It doesn't contribute to your success. It doesn't make you a better person necessarily. So, why do we spend time creating art? And the reason that this has been on my mind is because I've been in the process of writing my third book, and I already published 2 books on Amazon. And so I have many times where I've asked myself, like, why am I doing this? Like, why do I insist on creating art? And I think, at least for me, the answer is not a logical answer. It's not a left-brained answer. For me, the answer is that it helps me to bring forward the beauty inside of me. It helps me, allows me to find words and find ways of expressing the things that I see in me, and the parts that I see in me that, like, maybe I've had a hard time describing before, or like maybe it's a question that I was struggling with before. And writing allows me to transmute that, right? And to take an uncomfortable situation or an uncomfortable question and sit with it and then transmute it into a beautiful essay that can help millions, billions of people across the world. And so for me, art is a way of bringing forward the beauty inside of all of us, in a way, because it forces you to get in touch with the parts of yourself that nobody else sees, really, and to try to put it into words, to try to take that feeling and try to put it on a canvas, to try to take that thought and try to put it in an essay, to try to take this experience and try to put it in a song. And through that process, there's so much healing that goes on, and you're able to take moments of your life and transmute them and turn them into something beautiful. But in order to do that, you first have to sit with that uncomfortable feeling or that uncomfortable thought, whatever that may be, because I think that without understanding what exactly you're feeling, or what exactly you're thinking, or what exactly the problem is, then if you can't understand what you're feeling, and if you can't sit with that feeling or that thought or with that problem in silence, you're never going to be able to turn it into art. And it's just going to remain a problem. It's just going to remain like an inconvenience that you've never worked through, and that's just gonna stay in your life. And art, I think, allows us to create beauty out of anything. Like I say this, I've written this in my journal many times, that art has taught me how to turn everything around me for my good. Because anything that happens, I now have a process of sitting with that feeling or sitting with that thought, understanding it, working through it, and then turning it into something beautiful that will help many, many people. But that's not an easy thing to do. And I think a lot of people avoid becoming artists, or don't refer to themselves as artists because they can't go there. They can't sit with that uncomfortable feeling for long enough to be able to turn it around into something beautiful. And if that's you right now, if you feel like you have a message just to tell people, and that like deep inside you are a creator, you are an artist, and you see yourself that way, but you just haven't created your first piece yet, whatever that piece is, I think the answer that you're looking for is not some like crazy moment, that like nothing crazy needs to happen in your life for you to become a creator. You just have to be able to look at what's going on around you, look at the mundane things, that the everyday scenarios around you, and sit with those feelings and try to understand the deeper meanings behind what's going on. Because what we see, our world around us, that's just the effect, right? That's not the cause. So trying to understand like the thing behind the facade, right? Like trying to see behind the mask. And that's really what art does. It allows you to see yourself differently. It allows you to understand people in a different way and realize that we're all connected and we're all one, essentially. And the world really can be a beautiful place if we all create something. Like if we all use whatever's going on in our lives for good and turn it into art, that would be a really beautiful legacy to leave behind. So I think we create art because we allow ourselves to notice things that nobody else notices. We create art because it's our way of making sense of the world. And we create art because it allows us to look at the mundane things around us and all of the thoughts and all of the emotions that we're feeling and turn it into a masterpiece. And honestly, only art can do that. You can't really do that through any other medium, right? Like art is the only way to transmute something uncomfortable into something beautiful. But you first have to allow yourself to go there and to sit with that uncomfortable emotion. And that's not always easy. And so in that vein, I wanted to tell you that I recently published my second book. It's called Mastering the Middle. And this is my latest creation. This is my latest work of art. And this is a book about the middle. And the middle, I define the middle in this book as the space between where you are and where you want to be. The space between the time that you set a goal to the time where you achieved that goal. And in this book, I talk about all of the things that happen in the middle, and all of the things that you need to start working on while you're in the middle. Most people think that the middle is a passive place, that you have a goal or you have a desire and then you're like manifesting it, or you're like waiting around for other people to help you or for the perfect opportunity to arise out of nowhere. But that's not how the middle works. The middle is a very active place, and there's a lot going on internally, and this book, I think, is a great guide for people that are in this period of life that I call the middle. And so if that sounds interesting to you, I can leave the link for the book in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.